So, hi, welcome to LK Phenomics, the latest episode covering the most debated topic or the most interesting topic to many, digital rupee. Yes, you heard it right. The digital rupee. Rupee is going to take it into a new avatar, the e form or a digital form. By the way, technology is changing in a dynamic fashion post COVID. Pre COVID, the digital adoption was at a minimal stage. But post-COVID, we see a dynamic adoption of the digital transformation across the globe with multiple countries welcoming the measures and citizens accepting them for their convenience in meeting the day-to-day requirements. But what's the latest on the block? On the block is something new which was announced in the budget by name Digital Rupee. Yes, the Indian rupee is going to take its digital avatar. But don't get confused with the other private currencies which are in circulation, because the digital rupee is called a CBDC. It's a global language acronym which is used with its full form called Central Bank Issued Digital Currency, and which is something which will be issued by all the central banks of the countries in the future times to come, representing their physical currency, replacing into an electronic currency. So let's understand what exactly is this CBDC stands for. Is it different from this paper currency? The answer is no, it's the same. How does it differ? Because today I have this physical cash with me, and tomorrow this physical cash will convert into e-form. How does it work? This rupee, when I'm holding it in the hand, it's in the paper form, so it can actually get sweat, it can be soiled, and it can be torn, it can be tendered across the counter. So to protect from soiling, I keep this 100 rupee note because it's not free. It is my sweat at the end of the day. So I keep this note into my wallet and secure it so that whenever I want it, I can just open my wallet, whatever I want to buy, tender this note at the counter and purchase it. That's it. But of late, you might have noticed that there are multiple wallets which has come into existence. And now, because of demonetization, which happened in 16-17 and subsequently COVID pandemic, most of the netizens have shifted their purchases and spending behavior from a physical form to a digital form. And to enable this, there have been multiple wallets which have come into existence, and there has been an explosion of using UPI as a payment mechanism, extensive issuance of Rupee cards, which are our own Indianized payment gateways, cards issued by the public sector banks, and this way we have slightly moved away from using the physical cash to an electronic form of cash. By the way, when I am already using a Paytm wallet, when I am loading my money in electronic form in a big basket or in a Airtel wallet or any other wallet which is issued and secured by the bank, then what exactly is this digital rupee then? I'm already onto a digital mechanism. Please understand, whatever we are using, whatever currently we are converting or loading into the wallets is nothing but the balance which I'm having in my bank account, which has been deposited in a physical form, which appears in electronic numbers, is being added to the wallets. And such wallets are helping me to tender the same against my purchases. And these are all part of the payment gateway networks or the payment mechanism process. How the CBDC is going to differ? This is where the difference comes. Going forward, RBI has been authorized, which is the Central Bank of India, to issue the CBDC, which is digital form of Indian rupee, which will be a legal tender. Instead of issuing in the note or a physical form, will be issued in the form of a token or in the form of a mechanism which will be backed with the technologies like blockchain or any similar kind of technologies. So now, is there anything which is changing? No, nothing is changing. In the physical form, 1 rupee was issued by government and rest of the other notes are issued by the RBI. Similarly, RBI will continue to issue the currency notes, albeit in an e-form, which is your Indian rupee. So that means whatever technology which the RBI will be using, such technology will be deployed for issuing the token. So how the process works? I have to take my currency which I am holding and submit to the designated bank or an agency which RBI will be debiting in the future, and I need to convert my physical cash currency into a digital rupee. Such issued digital rupee will be used across all the merchants for as a legal tender of India to purchase my payments, used towards my remittances, used towards my international exchange transfers. So this is going to be more convenient to me, because one way I am securing my digital rupee in a wallet which will be designated by the RBI and secured by such agency using all the technology protocols, where my money is not fished out of my account. Two, it gives me convenience because I don't have to depend on any intermediary bank to receive this digital rupee. Rather, I go to an agency which is appointed and get my e-rupee credited into my account. So that means I don't have to open a bank account. And the second advantage it creates is I don't have to really withdraw the money in a physical form, nor I need to store that physical money into my home. Rather, I can use that wallet for purchasing any kind of a purchases whichever I want. And another advantage is, I would say an advantage as well as disadvantage, because I know what I'm spending. At the same time, somebody is watching what I'm spending. So it's an advantage and a disadvantage in terms of the privacy. But there is one more disadvantage which this will carry. One to the banking system and another to the user. From the banking system perspective, there could be a dwindling of the time deposits. There could be dwindling of savings account balances, which will be shifted from a banking system to an RBI balance sheet in the form of a liability, wherein RBI is obligated to issue the e-rupee, obligated to ensure that such e-rupees are used or enabled for the user to pay towards his or her obligations. Because the banking system provides loans as a matter of deposits and the CASA amounts which are lying as a balance. And now once those dwindling deposits happen, dwindling savings account money goes off, then the banks may have to find other ways or multiple ways to raise capital to ensure that there is a growth in terms of the loan book. And the other disadvantage for the user, when I am keeping the money in physical form in a bank, I'll be earning an interest, which is positive in India. But when I am holding a digital rupee, it's not clear whether RBI will be paying me an interest or not. So that means the money which is there in a digital form, which is convenient, may not be earning any interest to me. So the most important point today which stands on the table of the many countries in the globe, do we all need to issue a digital currency? The answer is yes, because this is the future. Because printing cost of a physical currency and transferring it from a chest to a treasury is costlier, and it requires a lot of effort, a lot of security to make it happen. But when it comes to digital currency, the issuance is very simple, because the user or the end owner of that currency will be remitting that physical amount, and the central bank will be issuing the digital e-currency to their wallets. And in future, when such kind of a pandemic events comes or a black swan events comes where the central governments respond by infusing liquidity into the system, they shall be giving more digital currencies with much easier method and a more transparent method to have effective control to disseminate the liquidity into the system. But will the economies of scale be really getting to the end user who is holding the currency? The answer as it stands today is difficult until unless we see this major economies like US, Euro region as well as China gets into this issuance of CBDC. We may not see the economies of scale for the end user to adopt this e-currency. And the last which I want to clear is, don't get confused digital rupee with the private currencies like the Bitcoin or an Ethereum or a Binance coin or any other DeFi coins which are available in the crypto market, because those are private coins with limited supply and has been there available for users for specific purposes to combat the rise of those private currencies which will mirror the fiat cash. The central banks across the globe are issuing this CBDC so that user can conveniently transact online. It's a future for the world, and I'm sure it takes time before this concept matures and people understands the benefits. And also we have to see how this CBDC concept in India can bring a financial inclusion at a much wider scale than what we have seen using the ATMs. Till then, take care, have a safe time, and maintain proper social distance. So see you again with the next interesting episode in Phenomics from LK. Until then, please watch this, share this, and do subscribe. Thank you so much. Signing off. Bye bye.